You're not afraid of failing. You're afraid of being seen failing. Let's talk about fear. What's the one thing holding you back? What if it wasn't skill or the lack of money or just the lack of opportunity? But what if it's fear, just quiet fear, polished fear, the kind that dresses up like logic because it's constantly in the back of your mind telling you that it's the truth. But the truth is, people are just too busy with their own lives to really give you the full focus of their attention. All right, let's go. If you're tired, not feeling fit, tired, just not having to focus, tired, just not having the life that you desire. This is your place to be. I'm Yarusi. Today, let's talk about fear. Let me ask you something. What's the one thing holding you back? What if it wasn't skill or the lack of money or just the lack of opportunity? But what if it's fear? And not that loud fear, not like the fear that you see in a horror movie. You're worried that someone's going to jump out of the dark and stab you or have this high rush of emotion, not horror movie fear, just quiet fear, polished fear, the kind that dresses up like logic because it's constantly in the back of your mind telling you that it's the truth. Because these are the things that you live with each and every day that paralyze you, that cut you at the kneecaps, that keep you from getting started. And first off, one of the biggest fears is, what if I fail? This one, it shows up everywhere. It shows up, as you're growing up with, meeting friends, trying to meet that special someone in your academics, in sports, right? Or today, you start a business, or you don't raise your hand, or you don't want to have hard conversations. You don't post content. Why? Because what if it doesn't work? What if it doesn't become the solution? But the truth is, failure is the opposite of success in very little ways. It's the avoidance of actually trying that keeps you from the success. You hear so many stories of success, but every story of success hides the path of failure that preceded all of those moments, highlight moments, all of the highlight reels, all of the great things you see. There was a layer of failure that followed with consistency, that followed with perseverance, that finally followed with the ability to find some level of success. And with failure, it gives you feedback. It builds scar tissue, teaches judgment, and avoidance. It builds regret. I can tell you, please don't go through your life not doing something that you desperately want to just because you're fearful you will fail, just to regret it years from now. You're not afraid of failing. You're afraid of being seen failing. That's the ego inside of you, the ego that will cap your life faster than the talent could ever have. And what if failing is the path, right? What if you have to fail to learn the lessons about the right way to do something? Because every level I've unlocked, be it from fitness to business to leadership, has been built on failures. I've had many times that I didn't want to look stupid first, and then I finally looked stupid, and guess what? No one was watching, and eventually I found my way and I succeeded. If you want growth, you have to just show up, and you're signing up for public reps. No one's going to applaud you today. They're going to be standing on the side watching. When you get to that level of success, they're all going to say, I've been there and I knew it all along, but only you are the one to know it. And that leads us to the next fear. What will people think? And this one's subtle. I mean, you start filtering yourself. You soften your message, you hold back your ambition, you dim your intensity because you don't want to look crazy or arrogant or unrealistic. But the truth is, people are just too busy with their own lives to really give you the full focus of their attention. And the ones who criticize, they're never in the arena. They're never trying. The people out there building, the people out there going for it, the people out there trying their hardest, the people out there giving it everything, failing alongside of you, they're not the ones criticizing you because they know what it takes. They know what it takes to go out there and be judged for trying. Or you can be ignored and you're hiding. Pick one. Live 100 means accepting the visibility, and it invites the opinion of others. But shrinking invites invisibility. And there's nothing worse than just wasting the life that God gave you to live. The slow death of your potential is something that, honestly, I see wasted upon many people. And you come here for this message that live isn't a life for you to put forth your best step each and every day, understanding that not every step is going to lead you down the destined journey. And lastly, the fear that lives us here is that, what if I'm just not enough? What if I'm not enough as a human? What if I'm not enough as a worship of God? What if I'm not enough as a husband, a father? What if I'm not enough as a leader? And this is what hurts, right? It hits deeper. It's what if I'm not experienced enough or disciplined enough? I'm not ready. So you wait, right? You wait for that time that finally you feel ready, right? You wait to be more prepared, more confident, more certain. But the truth is, you don't become enough before you act. That's where we miss the component. Everybody wants to be ready, fully ready to be engaged for when that moment comes. But you need to be ready years and months and days beforehand, because that is you building up to what the moment is going to bring right in the moment. The learning is from doing. Confidence is built in motion, not in thought. And every person you admire once felt underqualified. The distance and difference, they moved anyway. They chose growth over confidence, progress over perfection. They decided discomfort was the tuition and just not a warning sign. It means you don't negotiate in fear. You acknowledge it and you feel it and you live 100, because each step forward, fear will always be there whispering alongside of you. Are you sure? Are you confident this is the step? Why don't you stay safe? But safety, it doesn't build legacy. It doesn't build strength. It doesn't build impact. Live 100, it means you risk failure. You tolerate judgment. You act before you feel ready. Because on every other side of fear is expansion. And expansion is the only direction that ultimately is going to allow you to feel alive. So here's your challenge today. Find the fear you've been disguising as logic. Make the call, launch the thing, post the message. I mean, have that conversation. Go do one more rep. Not because you're fearless, but because you refuse to let fear decide your ceiling. That's Live 100. It's not about perfection. It's about showing up fully, even when it's uncomfortable, especially when it's uncomfortable. All right, that's what I have for you today. If this message resonated with you, go out there and share this message with someone who needs to hear this today. Go out there and share this with someone who's just fearful of every step, but you know the potential lies in front of them. And if it's you, let's take that step today. Help us. Go down there and leave us an honest rating review. It helps us continue to get this show out to the masses. Let's do this.